clocks. Let's see. Hello.
Hello, hello. How are you today?
Oh, you're buying the old clocks and you're remaking them?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how it works?
Yeah, a lot of them, this is one side of the work where I find stuff.
Where do you buy them?
I find them in antique stores. I'm also from Asheville, North Carolina, like Spiro, who you just talked to. So there's a lot, especially like the ride between here and Asheville. It's just like all through Appalachia. A lot in like Northern Virginia and stuff. Just kind of these antique stores tucked away in mountain towns. And so a lot of them are just, forgotten pieces. A lot of the pieces I work with are, I've gotten pretty privy to like learning about their history and stuff and knowing the telltale signs to kind of figure out where they're from and when they're from. So I try and go for pieces that are around 100 years old for the most part. So it's a mix of that. Sometimes they're, only from the 80s or something. Sometimes they're from a 2000 Sears catalog. But a lot of times they're just kind of cast aside, forgotten objects. They like had a story once, and then they were, they weren't like for the modern sentiment. They didn't fit in people's homes. People's grandparents had them, and they were passed down, but they weren't something that people liked and enjoyed. So, I find those and dust them off and clean them up, do the restoration work, and then everything's hand painted from there. So,
and they all work, right? The mechanism is all working, right?
I replaced the mechanics, the traditional mechanics, with quartz mechanics. It's kind of bringing it into the future. The quartz or the old school mechanics, while they are cool, interesting, and fun, they are really inefficient. You have to wind them every month or two. You have to have a horologist come out every couple of years, and there aren't many horologists out there at this point. It's definitely a dying art. I fancied myself a horologist for a little bit, and I tried to take them apart, and I was tuning them up myself. Then I had one of them explode on my hand because it's, coils under tension, and so it mangled my hand. So I was done with those after that. I was like, you know what? Quartz mechanism, you put a battery in it, and it lasts for like a year on a AA battery. Right. So, bring it to the modern world.
They have lights inside? I see this one has.
Yeah, so these guys, usually with the bigger system, sometimes I'll do it for custom orders on the smaller ones. But this system is a system that was developed for Burning Man, like immersive art, experiential art kind of stuff. So each piece with lighting has a computer built into it. And so that computer emits a Wi-Fi signal, and it communicates with the lights, and they communicate with each other. So this button right here is a haptic feedback. So it's the same technology as like your iPhone, where it senses the electromagnetic field in your finger, and through that, it's a touch screen. So it's you can change the brightness, you can change the settings, and through the Wi-Fi emission, they all communicate with each other. So as you change the settings on one, the settings on the other one also change. So you can kind of create like, if you get a bespoke package where you get, a curio cabinet and a clock and, even just trim lighting in your house, you can do like bespoke packages, and it's like a whole network that it creates basically. And so all your art can talk to each other.
You have a shop? You're doing those all the time?
Yeah. I operate. I used to have a studio space in Asheville, like a sales space. We got hit pretty hard by Hurricane Helene, so our arts district is like kind of a large section of it's washed away. Okay. The section where my shop was. So but I've been mostly working in my home studio. I bought a house like 4 years ago in Asheville, and I got a big house. Half of my actual house is my studio, and then I have a metal building that's like my wood shop. That's like kind of where the dirty stuff happens, like all the sanding and all the nasty little bits, and then I bring it inside, and that's where like the clean studio environment is.
How do you sell those? Over the internet? Do you have a website?
I sell a lot over the internet. I have a website, gavingerundo.com.
I'll give you a plug. Can you give me
Absolutely. Yeah, it's gavingerundo.com is my website.
Okay, so I'll put it as a text and send it to you. There's an email address?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good.
Yeah, I go through my website. I filter most sales through there, but I have a good social media following on like Instagram, Facebook. I have a good following on TikTok, but I think TikTok's like I'm like I feel too old for it for sure. I'm like it's but yeah, good online following, and I do a lot of direct-to-market stuff. Between shows like this, I also do a lot of music and art events. So I curate and produce a music festival that's it's around a 15,000 person festival. It's our 4th year coming up, and it's very art forward. So I not only do bring my art in this way. I also do canvas art, mural art, also facilitate other artists to have a platform through that. Every year we do about 30 live painted murals. We have about 75 canvas painters, so people working on stuff live during the music. We have cirque troops, you know, aerialists, fire spinners,
nice.
character actors, people who are like dressed like mushrooms and go and fuck with the hippies who are high on acid. And yeah, and like that, we do like a performance stage with drag, burlesque, and just all the kind of facets. I take care of all the facets for the festival that aren't the music. I'm like, I don't want to deal with speakers and stage and truss, although I do end up inevitably dealing with a lot of that. But yeah, my role in that is the other arts, you know, just giving a platform to that. And
All right, very good. Thank you for your speech, for your conversation.
Yes.
This is beautiful work. I
thank you
love
so
it. I
much.
love it.
May I give you a little keepsake?
It's good.
These are the timekeeper pins. These are cast. This is cast black nickel, and so I'm giving these out as gifts today for those who take the time to come by and you know, make that connection and connect with the work. So I'd like to present this to you as a gift.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
Nice to meet you.